There are so many painters in Omaha, so it can be really hard to figure out, am I hiring the right painter for my needs? Or am I comparing apples to apples or apples to oranges? I've seen so many horror stories over the years, what different people have paid for when they hire somebody. In this video, we're gonna go over signs that may mean you might have a bad experience if you move forward with this painter. Bad communication. So from the start, you give a call and you don't get any response back, or when you do get a response back, they don't tell you when they're going to show up. They give you a big time frame of when they're going to show up. That may be a bad sign for your project. Not being honest and transparent. So what you'll see here is they're just very vague on what they're going to do. They're very vague on their products. They'll tell you, we're just going to use Sherwin-Williams product. They really go off of the brand of paint that they're using. They're going to say, we're using Sherwin-Williams, we're using Benjamin Moore. But they don't tell you exactly what product that they're going to use. So every paint store has cheap paint and every paint store has really nice products. If you're okay with cheap paint, that's another, then that might be a good option for you. But I think the transparency, you should know exactly what's going on your walls when you get the estimate for the paint job. Doesn't seem like they have knowledge or experience for your project. A lot of painters just believe that homeowners just go off of the bottom dollar, what the price is. And I find that that is so far from what really happens out there. So if you are talking to a painter and they're not really explaining to you their process, they're not explaining to you their products, you may end up having a bad experience. It's very important that they explain exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it in the products that they're using. That way your paint job will last a long time. They don't have insurance or workers' comp. This is a big one. Workers' comp is something that is everybody has to pay if you have a business, but there are all kinds of loopholes around that. What a lot of contractors will do is they'll hire subcontractors, and the subcontractors will not have workers' comp on their employees. And so what that means is if the employee does make some mistake, and mistakes happen, if they're not insured, it's all going to fall back on you. So it's really important that before you hire a company that does not have workers' comp on their people, that you at least know that. And then if you want to move forward, and because maybe you're getting a better deal, at least you know exactly what's going on. So make sure that you ask the right questions and make sure that they're not using subcontractors. And if they are using subcontractors, have them show you that they have workers' comp on all their employees. When you have a painter come out to your house to take a look at your project, and they literally just walk in and they just look at a few things, they're just looking around, they're not measuring, that could be a setup for disaster. Because what happens is, if the painter does not have enough money to complete the job, what they're gonna do is they're just gonna cut out on steps. They're gonna cut out on the sanding, they're gonna cut out on maybe how many coats they put on, and you're going to end up paying the price. So make sure that when you do hire a painter, that they're thorough, that they're walking around, they're really looking at everything. They should walk around with you. They should look to see if there's any cracks on the walls. On an outside, they should be looking at the caulking, if there's any rotted wood, things like that. Don't let them just come in and just glance and write you a number or send you a number in a text or write it on a sticky note. Make sure that you're getting an estimate that is detailed and that is transparent. Another sign is if they say they can do the job quickly. If they can do the job, within a day of hiring them or a couple days, that means they're just not very busy. Now, sometimes we do have little spots in our schedule that happens. So just make sure that you're paying attention. If it's a big job and they can start it tomorrow, you may end up having a really bad experience. You get several bids and the amount, let's say it's $5,000 on 2 of the bids, and you have another guy that comes in at $2,000 and he's like, it'll only take me a day, day and a half. And the other guys are telling you it's going to take 3 to 4 days. Really pay attention to that. If it seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And you're probably going to end up with a mess. So now that you know the signs of a bad experience, I'm going to give you a few tips that can really help you to make sure that you're going to have a good experience with the painting process. The first thing to do is to research. So many times I'll go into a house and they'll tell me, you're the painter, we just trust you. Don't automatically just trust the painter. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you're hiring a good company that has a good reputation, and just don't listen to what they're saying right out of the gate. Make sure you do your research. Second, ask your friends and family, co-workers, who they've used in the past, and that'll give you a good idea. And then once you ask them how the communication went, ask them about if there's any warranty, just ask them how they felt through the whole process. Look at the reviews online. Make sure that they have a review page of people that you could actually call to find out how the experience was throughout the process of the project. Compare quotes, not just looking at the price, but really looking at all the things that are going to happen. Are they going to take care of your floors? Are they going to do all the prep work and put the right coats on for your project? I hope this video will help you to spot a bad painter or just potentials for having a bad experience with your painting project. Below is a download that just gives you tips for hiring a painting contractor.